Welcome back to Vegan-Nette Life. I was gonna go ahead. I needed to roast some vegetables and put in the oven, so I'll go ahead and film this for you guys just to kind of see how I do this. It's not a specific method. I just use the veggies I have on hand that I want to actually have for roasting. And more than likely, most of the time out of this, I usually make a lot of bowls. So I will end up making a pot of quinoa. That is a great grain substitute instead of rice or potatoes or, pasta. Unless you're using like a chickpea pasta, a different type of pasta other than white flour. So you want to kind of avoid those types of carbs. But quinoa is an excellent substitute and has a lot of health benefits with that. So today my roasted vegetables are going to be baby carrots. I've got about a half a pack left of those. Again, keeping in mind what I've got in the fridge, I've got to get that used up. I've got a honey nut squash. So this is in the squash family. It's similar to the butternut squash, but more like, I guess you would say, the baby version of that. I had one yellow bell pepper left, so I'm going to cut that up as well. I'm going to add white onion. I'm gonna roast one bowl of garlic. I love roasted garlic, so I will make sure I put this in to roast that. And once this is roasted, it's very soft. And so I'll just squeeze that out of the cloves. The cloves of garlic to get squeezed out that's currently in the skin, and just kind of blend it in. It just kind of dissolves in it. But I love roasted garlic. And these are my golden beets. They have a yellow, orange kind of undertone to them. I'm going to roast these. I have 3 of these golden beets. And the tops, the leaves of these, I'm going to actually saute these with my other greens that I'll be making as well. I've got some dandelion greens, some rainbow chard, collards, and purple kale or red kale that I'm going to saute down as well. And I'm going to add these beet tops to it, the beet greens. I'm going to add those in. So I'm just going to have a pan of just a combination of just different mixed greens that I will be sauteing, and those will be thrown into the bowls as well, along with the roasted vegetables and quinoa. So that's kind of how I'm gonna use and repurpose everything that's here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead first and cut the tops off of the golden beets and put those over to the side. And I'll have to kind of wash and go through those and discard any that, may not look the best with that. But I'm going to use as much of these as possible with my green mitts. So I'm going to put this over here to the side with those. I'm going to go ahead, let's see, I guess I'll do the simplest things first. I'm just going to put everything in this large bowl, and then we'll just add our seasonings and whatever to that on the end. So the carrots I can go ahead and put in there because it's not anything we have to do with these. I am going to rinse these off though. And that was just my oven that you was just hearing going off. I'm going to roast these at 375. And I've got me a small bowl here. I'm just going to use this as a trash bowl right now. I'm going to go ahead and cut up the yellow bell pepper. The seeds of the bell pepper, you can actually keep those and grow your own bell pepper. I really need to start doing that. Again, that's going back to using and repurposing as much as you can with the items that you buy. And you can definitely save the bell pepper seeds. This one right here. And just plant those and grow your own bell peppers, which I really need to do. I get kind of lazy when it comes to outdoor gardening type things, but a lot of people have started doing what you would call an indoor garden. I think it's another name for them too that's out. But they're not doing gardens in the traditional way that we will probably be used to or growing up seeing. It's mainly you're getting flower pots and you're just planting them just like you would flowers, and you just put them on your deck or balcony. Sometimes they're kept in the kitchen on windowsills. But yeah, you can definitely grow a lot of your own vegetables. That may be a goal that I try to transition to. If I don't do it this year, hopefully next year. Just try to each year step it up a notch, kind of do something different. I'm just cutting these up in kind of like a wide dice. It's not a small dice because I want them to just kind of have some size to them because I'm roasting them. Don't want them to completely disintegrate, so that's why these are not being diced small at all. So if any of you guys out there currently have a garden or have been repurposing your seeds from different vegetables and produce of kind of reusing the seeds from fruits and vegetables to grow your own, that is definitely a way to minimize your savings and your costs. But if anyone's doing that, I'd be interested to know what type you have, how you kind of got started with it, how long you've been doing it. So if you would leave that in the comments, I'm sure we would be all interested in what you're doing with that. But I think that's something we all can start to do in small ways, because we know that our food source is kind of special. And again, when you're buying organic, yes, you do pay more for organic produce. That's a fact. Like I said, I usually try to get mine when it's on sale, unless it's just something that I'm needing or wanting for a specific dish. But again, when you compare that to not having to purchase meat, you're still saving. But yeah, they usually have organic produce, usually at least double the amount of the traditional non-organic items. And like I say, sometimes just based on the sale, I will purchase a non-organic produce item. But for the most part, I do try as much as possible to purchase organic. Everything we're using today is organic. And I'm just peeling the outside part of this onion off. And I'm just going to cut this onion in half. and keep this in kind of the same size pieces as the bell pepper, because again, I want larger pieces when I'm roasting it. I don't want a small dice. And I've gotten to the point, onions do not make me cry at all anymore. If you do have that issue with tearing up as you're cutting, I think I heard that if you use cold water, I guess maybe rinse it in cold water, it's supposed to help minimize the tears, your tear productions, going into overdrive with that. And for the garlic, I just cut off the very top. So I'm gonna drizzle a little avocado oil in there. I use avocado oil over olive oil because you can, you have a higher cooking point with avocado and grapeseed oil. I don't use grapeseed oil as much, but I will use between those two when it comes to oils for me, whether, when it comes to sauteing or frying. And I'm cutting the honey nut squash. It has seeds in it, just like the butternut squash. But like I said, it's very small. It's like a little miniature version of that. And again, these seeds can be kept. You can roast these seeds and use them as a topping for like your salads. Needed to get my spoon with the little ridges to help scrape that out more. And I'm gonna, but yeah, you can roast those just like you would pumpkin seeds. And you can just eat those as a snack. You can season them with some type of little topping, maybe chili powder and garlic powder or something, and roast them and just eat those seeds as a snack. And like I say, also you can put them on top of your salad. That would be something good, or a dish that you would maybe use topped with nuts. I know some of the Asian dishes sometimes have peanuts there, so that would be an option to have these top that instead. That's a way to, again, using what you have and trying to use as much of the item as possible. And then also something I may look at doing that I don't do, some people have a compost bin where they put all of their food scraps in, that, like I'm putting in this bowl here. They have a compost bin where they will use this to add to their gardens instead of your traditional fertilizer. So I'm just gonna stop real quick here. I've got my peeler. I'm just gonna go through and peel the outside part of this honey nut squash. Because of course this is gonna be diced up in larger chunks as well. I chose to get the honey nut squash instead of a butternut squash. Well, I like to change it too, but this cost a lot less. And I was buying a lot of organic produce weekend before last. And so I was trying to cut costs on some of the items where I could, if it was an alternative. So this was a good alternative. I knew I was just going to roast some vegetables. I didn't need a large butternut squash for anything in particular. So again, I'm just going to cut this in threes and then 3 again. So it's kind of like this size piece, chunk. So I'm going to mix those in. so those are in. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the beets. And I'm just gonna cut each end off and then use my peeler. Don't think I have to worry about anything discoloring with these because they're not that purple color. But the flesh is actually yellow on the inside. And it looks like it has a little hint of purple undertone blended in with that. I just find the different colors so fascinating. But this is God's medicine that He provides us in nature with our fruits and our vegetables. This is a large one right here. And of course, when I was getting these, they were bundled, 3 to the bundle. So I made sure that I got a bundle that had the largest ones that I could find. And this particular bundle, 3, had this huge beet in it compared to the other 2 sizes that were there. I didn't want to juice these, I think because of the color. I just wanted to roast those, so that's why we're roasting these instead of juicing them. But I am going to buy some in juice. I think I'll just start changing those up. I bought these at Sprouts. And just like Whole Foods as well, they tend to have a lot of different colors of fruits and vegetables. Especially with the vegetables when you get into the beets and rainbow chard and kale that comes in different colors. I just love it. Alright, so that didn't take too long. I have peeled all 3 of those beets. This one is a little bit more orange on the inside. It looks like a sweet potato. So it's just funny how those colors can be different from the same bundle of beets. These are called golden beets. So I think I'm just gonna cut these in half and then 3 across and then 2 across. So they're coming out about like that. I'm trying to keep them all the same size as much as possible so that they all cook even and are finished cooking about the same time. So you want to try to make sure your pieces are as uniform in size as possible. This one is smaller, so, well, yeah, I was still able to cut it the same way. I didn't know if I was going to need to cut less sections or not, but these turned out fine. All right, and then the big mama of the group, I think I may cut this one in 4. And then 3 across. And this one is like a pale yellow on the inside. It looks almost like a chunk of pineapple. Alrighty. Now that's finished. That's all we're gonna put in here for our vegetables. I'm gonna put the garlic separate. I'm not gonna mix it in with the bowl here. So I'm gonna set this up here. Let me get my avocado oil. And this, I usually get this bit bottle from BJ's. Hopefully you can see that without too much of a glare. No set amount. I just kind of drizzle around maybe twice. So that might be maybe a fourth of a cup if I had to guess. I'm going to use some of Miss Tabitha Brown's Sunshine Seasoning. Needing to use this up, so just going to add some of that there. Maybe a teaspoon. As I told y'all, I don't measure, I just kind of shake. This is Italian seasoning. I'm going to just take this top off because that's coming out a little bit too slow for me. I'm going to just add some of that up there. Some organic black pepper. And a little bit of rosemary. And no rhyme or reason, just because I don't have to use rosemary that often. And I'm just trying to be mindful to add it when I'm roasting something. Oh, it's almost done. Let me just not call the rest of it out. That's finished. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna add to that. Normally I would do, add onion powder and garlic powder, but I'm not, since I'm gonna have a whole bowl of roasted garlic in there and I've got a whole onion cut up in here. I don't think I'm gonna add any extra to that, but normally I do. So I'm just taking my hands, which are clean, and I'm just mixing all of the veggies around so that everything is getting some of the oil as well as the seasonings. And that's it. I love roasting vegetables. It's always a good idea to do that and have that on hand and ready, because you can just I'll throw the bowl together in a heartbeat real quick. It is something simple. Okay, this is my large cookie sheet. And I'm just getting a sheet of foil to put up there. That way it's just easier for me to clean up when I'm through. Just take the foil off, wipe the pan off, and put it away. One less dish to wash. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and pour my veggies up here. Let me get my spatula, because I want to get out all of that seasoning and oil that's left in here. I don't want to leave nothing in my bowl. I look at everything as being money, so to speak. So I want to make sure that's in there. So again, let's see if I can turn you around a little bit more. So I'm just going to spread these out. Make sure they've got plenty of room to cook even. That was the perfect size pan. I got to make a little spot for my bowl of garlic now. Okay, so I think I'm going to put it right here on that little corner there. Okay, make a little spot right there. But this is it, honey. So this is going to be for a bowl or just to do some type of little stir fry thing. You can roast these, like I said, put it over top of quinoa. You can put it over top of pasta, but for pasta, I do utilize pasta that's like chickpea flour, kamut. I try to get a grain red lentil. You see a lot of lentil pastas. I try to get something that's not made out of actual like semolina flour or white flour. I try to just get a grain pasta that you can put these veggies over top of or just by itself. But either way, I mean, you can just do so much with this. Ain't nothing like having a big old pan of roasted vegetables. I'm down for that all the time. So let me put that there. And I'm gonna pour a little bit, just a little bit of olive oil. I mean, not olive oil. I keep saying olive oil. Avocado oil over top. And I'm just going to use my finger to kind of spread that in. It's done kind of ran down in there. But there you go. So I'm going to stick that right down the corner. And this is going to go into the oven. Go in at a temperature of 375. And it'll probably take maybe about 30 minutes for it to roast. It may not take that long. But that's something that can kind of do its thing until it's tender enough, or as you may say al dente if you want a little crunch with your vegetables. It's just your choice. But I'm going to try to find a balance between the softness and still having a little texture to it without it being so pronounced. So this is going into the oven, and I will show you guys this once it's finished. Okay, so let me give you a close-up real quick. There you go. Now those colors are gorgeous. I love it. But we will be right back once these are finished. Okay, so the roasted veggies are out of the oven. So I'm just gonna let these cool. The roasted garlic looks wonderful. Ooh, that's hot, of course. But yeah, everything is perfectly to the tenderness that I want. It's not like mushy soft, but it's tender when you poke, the tip of a knife or fork in it. So yeah, I'm gonna let this completely cool, and then this is just gonna go in the fridge in some containers for bowls. So that is what I'm doing with that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video of the roasted vegetables, and hopefully that gave you an idea of just something quick to do that you can eat off of during the week. And again, as I said, remember, focus on your journey and not your destination.